ଚେୟାର ଉଠିଲାବେଳେ ଦେଖିଛି
ହେଲା
ତା ଭିତରେ ରଖିଦବା। ମୋ ପାଖରେ ଅଛି।
very light into concrete Now, I would like to request all the delivery organizers to inaugurate this program by watering the holy plant as a mark of green inauguration. Please.
Club of Angela, Rotary Club of Capital, Rotary Club of Carvel, Karina, and Rotary E Club of Mohammadadi Foundation. LSF speakers, members of the Rotary Club of Mohammadadi Heritage, fellow Rotarians, distinguished faculty, month has consciousness. As cities grow denser and concrete replace the green
we have with us so many district chapter 2024 and 25. So I must have so but we will challenge us our the district chapter 2024 and 25. So many past presidents and from Rotary Club of Heritage, senior Rotary from Rotary Club of Heritage. So also I must recognize the president of A Club. Those have supported this seminar for that. Today, the parents of Rotary and Pratita Manandi from Rotary Club of Angela. I think she Rotary and Rotary Club. Yes, I there. So, he the president of 2024 and 25. Rotary Club of Eco, Madam, she is also absent. So, and the members, anybody from Rotary Club of Eco are here? Yes. So, Rotary President Lakshmikant Pali Prabhu. I think anybody from Rotary Club of Friends? Yes. Oh, so and the president of Rotary Club of Capital, Shushan Babu. Where is Shushan Babu? Yes, he is there. So any other Rotary from Rotary Club of Capital? Okay, thank you. So and the president of Rotary Club of Karol Kalinanda, Ramesh Manti, Ramesh will be there. Yes. Any member from yes, 3, 4, 5, yes. Congratulations, yes. So special thanks to Dr. P. Srinivas. This is your grandchild. Let's have a big round of applause. In an age of rapid urbanism, where concrete replaces green and digital replaces natural, the idea of cultivating green spaces right above our head is both visionary and necessary. Rooftop gardening is not just about growing plants, it's about growing a healthier futures. It's about transforming unused urban spaces into thriving ecosystems. It's about improving air quality, reducing the urban heat as island effect, and promoting mental well-being. And yes, it's all about food security, sustainability, and self-reliance. What I find most beautiful about this initiative is how closely it is aligned with Rotary values. Service above self, environmental stewardship, and community development. Each rooftop garden is a small act of service. Each seed planted is a step towards a greener, more sustainable, better tomorrow. To the Rotarians, I can say, horticulturists, urban planners, and citizens gathered here. Your participation today reflects your commitment to change. Let's keep encouraging such sustainable practices in our cities, our communities, and in our class. Let's Rotary lead by example. Once again, my heartfelt congratulations to Rotary Club of Heritage and all supporting clubs for organizing these meaningful events. Let's continue to sow the seeds of service and sustainability on the ground and on our rooftops. Thank you, and let us keep growing together. Jai Rotary, Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind address. Now, I'd like to request the president of this today's inaugural program, the Dean College of Agriculture of Bhubaneswar, Professor Rishikesh Pathak sir, for his presidential address. Please. A very good morning to one and all. In the dais, please get this very important seminar. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Agriculture and Technology, Dr. Kumar Rao. Our special guest in this important morning, Rotarian, Yogesh Mahathir, Rotary District Governor, past President of Rotary Club of Bhubaneswar Heritage, Rotarian Rajendra Kumar Das, current President, Rotarian Vichitrananda Naik, Rotarian Dr. T. Srinivas, District Chair, Rooftop Garden. In the dais, deans, directors of Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology, all the esteemed members, all the esteemed Rotarians of different Rotary clubs of Bhubaneswar across Rotary Club of Odisha, working across different districts, distinguished delegates, convener of this very important organizing committee of this seminar, Professor Tripathi, Professor and Head Department of Vegetable Science, College of Agriculture, University of Bhubaneswar, Organizing Secretary Dr. Sunil Das, from OEPT, Organizing Secretary from Rotary Club of Bhubaneswar, Dr. Srinivas, other important guests, faculty members, head of the departments, research scholars, students, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. I am happy to say at the outset, Odisha University of Agriculture and University of Agriculture and Technology is very much happy to organize this important seminar, Rooftop Gardening and Horticulture for improving urban living and microclimate, which is very much timely and very much significant in the present context of climate change. You in the recent past, they might have experienced how climate change has gripped different metropolitan cities, maybe all the urban areas in the country at present. So this important seminar will address, or most probably, what are the scientific know-how we have, how best our public, our society will take advantage of that to keep their own dwelling area as full as possible. So the rooftop gardening is not a decorative idea, but it is a mission or it is a movement to keep ourselves livable and our cities be breathable. we all feel suffocated when we visit some areas of cities. We feel so hot. Sometimes we feel so suffocated. We won't get maybe because of lack of oxygen. So for that reason, we all love plants. Plants take carbon from us, produce oxygen for all of us. So how best it is one. My grandfather was telling in the old days, you may be feeling in every village if you visit in Odisha, maybe the country, India, you will find there are many big plants, ficus plants. One is Ficus bengalensis, one is Ficus religiosa. They are otherwise, those plants are called the rubber plants. We all love and we all offer offerings to those plants only because these two big plants will sufficient enough to meet the requirement of oxygen requirement of 500 people of that village. So that was the concept. How plants have been doing our environment cool, make our living beautiful and more smoother. So at this point of time, I see that the Rotary Club of Professional Heritage, in collaboration with all different Rotary clubs that are working or operational in different districts across Odisha, in Bhubaneswar also, they came out with a good idea to our Honorable Vice Chancellor. I also came to know that he is also a Rotarian. So we carried forward the message that this is a very good concept. Let us try to deliberate on that. How best each and every person, those who are living in cities, can take advantage of that by making their own roof, making their ideal roofs now into a beautiful garden. It is a silent movement to combat climate change. There is no enough space left in cities now. You go and plant trees there. Now you make your indoor house by taking some indoor plants and make your ideal rooftop into such gardens which will help you to reduce your indoor temperature by 2 to 3 degrees centigrade. And by working with plants also, your health and well-being will also be better. When you work with plant, you will feel more. That will also, plant has a quality of filtrating the air, so it improves the quality of air also. So, this is the condition. That is why I am telling this rooftop gardening is not as a concept. Though it is a scientific concept now, I always feel this is a movement. Let us all together, this seminar will help us. This may be a starting point from all of us to bring, to take this movement of urban horticulture movement across every cities of Odisha. Make our own environment livable, make all our cities breathable. Now, Oyudians at one hand, Rotarians in the other hand. Let us join hands together to take this movement, reach to each and every city. We will make this movement. I hope this is the starting point. Let us make this happen. And at the same time also, I will appeal to my younger generation also. They will come forward. As an university, I always speak. Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology is committed and also supporting the urban horticulture initiatives through research, through outreach, and through student engagement. We do teach our students this very important course. We take up
MSc and a PhD thesis research in these aspects now. It is one of our initiatives to combat climate change. How best we can make our own living qualitative and more easier to all of us. So I thank especially the esteemed members of all the presidents, all the past presidents, our district governor, and all the esteemed members, those who are present here. They are joining hands, they are with us for contemplating such seminar and making this seminar to happen. I extend my heartfelt thanks from Kuyun side. At the same time, our university administrative head, our own beloved Vice Chancellor, who happens to be a distinguished economist and academician of international repute, he always encourages us to go for such kind of seminar, deliberate in this kind of issue, come out with some acceptable outcomes, so that we will help in believing the philosophy of bringing science, taking science to society. So if we are also committed to take agri and allied sciences for the benefit of community science society. If any science is there, it is of no use to society, then I don't think that science is contributing enough to improving the livelihood and lifestyle of the community. So at the last, I thank each one of you, every one of who made this particular seminar till now a great success from the core of my heart. And at last, I will also urge all of you, let us try making our idle rooms into beautiful gardens, which will help us reducing the carbon footprint, help us reducing the temperature of microclimate, make our cities livable, make our cities breathable. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your nice resolution and your kind address. Now, I would like to request the dignitaries of the Congress to kindly release the sovereignty dedicated to this one-day-long seminar. Seminar on rooftop gardening and horticulture for improving urban living and microclimate.
I request our district head, Dr. E. Srinivas to join the meeting of Sunday. I will also request our DPN, Rotel Rodrigo, or someone to kindly come to us to join in release of the Sunday.
Thank you. Now also request the dignitaries on the dais to release the book authored by Sanjay Kumar Samukai sir, namely Eco Green Roots to Combat Climate. Please.
प्रवास कुमार मोहरा
Thank you so much, sir, for doing this honor. Now, I'd like to request the President.
ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ନମସ୍କାର ଜୟ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ବନ୍ଧୁଗଣ ଆଜି ଗୋଟେ ଭାରତୀୟ ଜଳବାୟୁ କଂଗ୍ରେସ ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ଶୁଭ ଦିନ କାରଣ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ବହି ଆମର ବାହାରିଛି ଗ୍ରୀନ ରୁଟ୍ସ ଟୁ କମ୍ବାଟ କ୍ଲାଇମେଟ ଚେଞ୍ଜ এটা যদিও ମୁଁ ଲେଖିଛି as a founder president of Indian Climate Congress but the from all of it's coming from the Indian Climate Congress the emotion is coming from the so about the book just there's no time some books are available in
ପୁରା online କଣ
outside
ଅଛି ସରିଲା ପରେ
ଆମର ଯେଠି ଜିମ୍ ଚାଲିବାକୁ ଚାଲେ
so in this book
ପରେ ଯାଉଛି ଆମର
first of all is the introduction to green routes
ଆମର ଚାଲିଛି ଅଡିଓ ଇନପୁଟ ଯାଉଛି ଭିଡିଓ ନାହିଁ ଅଡିଓ ଯାଉଛି
So what are these for? As you know, sometime back we explained what the importance of green roof nowadays. So this is explained in chapter 2. Third chapter, climate change and the urban environment. So this is also equally important as regards to urban environment is concerned because you see our own cities nearby, Kotak and Bhubaneswar. During the heavy rainfall, this is flooding. So we have so many engineers, so many architects, but we are not solving this problem. I hope this book will give some insight to solve these problems. The chapter 4 is structural and functional design. How to design structurally and functionally. So that also has been mentioned in this book. Chapter 5 is sustainable materials and innovations. I hope in detail we have mentioned about the how we will sustain the rooftop gardens in the cities. Then chapter 6, installation and maintenance. Maintenance is definitely important aspect of rooftop gardening because you see most of the times we have to take care of the roof also because when you will plant some rooftop gardens on the roof, every chance there water will leak and your roof will be destroyed. So that part also we have mentioned. I request also our honorable guest. So this point to be also elaborately discussed in this seminar. Last is conclusion. Finally, how best we can reach this program. So on 14th of this month, we have started a rooftop garden in the Jolawai Bhavan at Kotak. We also conducted the 14th Indian Climate Congress. Incidentally, we have requested our honorable Vice Chancellor to join with us due to his busy schedule. He could not be there. This book was supposed to be released on that day, but due to some reason it could not be released. So I am happy that under his team, the book is released. And my previous book, introducing the climate change, that also introducing and addressing the climate change, that also been released by our honorable Vice Chancellor. So these both the two books are available in the counter. Those who are interested, they get it. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to request the President of RCB Heritage Rotary and Eastern Life, sir, kindly consider the chief guest of this inaugural program, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of OUAT, Professor Prabhat Kumar, sir. Please. Thank you. Also request Rotarian Michigan on the line, sir, to kindly felicitate the president of this another program, Professor Rishikesh Professor, the DD College of Agriculture of Nutrition. Thank you. Also request Rotarian Michigan on the line, sir, to kindly felicitate the Rotary District Governor, Rotarian Yogyansis Mahapatra. And also request the president of RCB Heritage to kindly felicitate the past president of RCB Heritage, C. Rajendra Kumar, sir. Thank you. I'd like to request the district chair, Rotarian Dr. P. Srinivas, to kindly felicitate the president of RCB Heritage, Rotarian Vichitran online. Thank you so much. So it's my event pleasure to request the
DG on it. Okay. DG on it.
I would like to request our honorable vice chancellor to felicitate our DG Anil Kumar Sarati, and also DG Yogesh Bhattacharya joining this. Inside the Rashtriya Tattvasari also join the felicitation. I want to impress upon the audience that he is the district governor for 26/7. We call him as DGN, District Governor. I would also request BC to kindly felicitate our district chair, Dr. P. Srinivas. Our DG Yogi sister and district ministers. The district chair, Dr. P. Srinivas. Actually, he is the first of pioneer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now I would like to request the chief guest of this today's program, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of OIUT, Professor Prabhat Kumar Rao, sir, for his comment. Very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of
दिला में रोके दी थी सर ये क्लास को
I say that actually to all the delegates who are
हाँ ठीक है
present here and have also tried to attend this program. On the dais, my esteemed colleague, the president of today's inaugural function, Professor Rishikesh Patra, the Dean, College of Agriculture, Bhubaneswar, our special guest, Rotarian Yogyansis Mahapatra, the President Rotary District Governor, the President of
Rotary Club Bhubaneswar Heritage, Rotarian Vistrananda Naik, the past president, the Chartered Accountant Rajendra Kumar Bhatt, the convener of this program, Professor Pradyumna Tripathi, who is sitting on in the audience, Dr. Sunil Das, the organizing secretary, co-organizing secretary, Dr. P. Srinivas, the key man to this program and organizing secretary of the council. Distinguished Rotarian friends, as I see several past presidents are here, future deputy also here, that will be next line. I see Amit Samal, Dr. Mohammed Pani, words last, and in between a galaxy of Rotarian city. Members of a different Rotary clubs, maybe 80 clubs. I do not know whether Patabi included or not, but I see Dr. Sukrant Mahanti. I do not know how he is linked to Rotary Club of Bhubaneswar. We are formally going to do that. My deans and directors who are present over here, faculty members, resource persons who have kindly agreed to enlighten us with the concept, students, colleagues from Medicating, and as I consider co-travelers on our path of eco journey. He may be an entrepreneur, he may be a service provider, he may be a nursery man, or anybody who has joined in this pious journey of ecosystem. So once again, a very good morning to one and all. I'm extremely happy that with support, collaboration, cooperation of a Rotary Club Bhubaneswar Heritage, we are able to gather here. The mandates remain same. This is not only the oldest and known farm university of the state, but also this college is the oldest agricultural college and it's first and foremost college of this university. I remember when Santiniketan was established at Bolpur, the founder, Rabindranath Tagore, told that the universities are custodians of culture and community. If it is true, I feel we should be able to reach to the community. Being a Rotarian, I also understand how the Rotarians they try their level best for upliftment of a community to support them, to bring them to mainstream. Hopefully, this is a common agenda that all of us have agreed to take it forward. This is the core theme is the rooftop garden. It is the resultant of two factors. The factor one, why we landed here. Factor one is climate change, no need to mention. Factor two is urbanization. Perhaps these two climatic factors or these two environmental factors have given birth to this concept of rooftop garden. If you think about climate change, it is no more a story which we learned during my undergraduate career. It is a real one. We have not only understood it, we have also experienced it. And there is no need to mention that this year, in February is the hottest, if you will analyze for last 125 years. I do not know how we are going to face the coming May and June. Still, it is in the process. So the climate change is now considered as a climate crisis. And these aberrant weather conditions, yesterday or day before yesterday in the morning, we usually encounter the Kalabaishaki during evening hours. But it happened at 9:30, 2-3 days back, 2 days back I hope. So in situation, not only that, I was analyzing during last 60 years, 31 years of drought, 29 years of flood,
15 years cyclone, hardly 10 years, maybe normal years or nearly normal. This is the trend of a climate. In the same year, we face the cyclone, we face the flood, and we face the drought one after other at the same time. Obviously, as we are going to face on 30th of today in the morning, the obviously will be celebrated in the farmland of OUT, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha Gracie. We had a preparatory meeting on the field itself. Once Akshaya was well planned, it was perhaps planned in such a way, from there only continuously sowing you will commence. Not only commence, but we will also continue. But do we think that if on 30th of April we start sowing, it will be germinate. The seeds will survive in the field on the hot soil. So things have altogether changed. Added to that, those who are senior to me by age must have seen Google itself. The hostel, in the top floor, we are not able to, on the roof, we are not able to sleep. If you come down late in the night for using a toilet, by the time you go up, your bedsheet and your mat, everything is zero because of the wind. Because our premises are very close to airport. Where we lost that wind? Minister, where it lost its rapid urbanization, concrete jungle has led to such a situation. And moreover, while such things are happening, we are struggling. We are struggling for food and nutrition. On one hand, we want to get safe food and also nutrition. Is it not a challenge? At this juncture, hopefully, with the evolution of the science, with the changing concept, the rooftop garden is a smart way of addressing such a situation. It is an attempt to create a microclimate which will try to make the situation cooler, which will address overall to the ecosystem. And plant by culture, we are the worshipper of a plant. 3 4 days back, I was seeing the clippings of Honorable President of India while addressing his school. And she was expressing that I am from a rural village of Odisha. Then my attention was diverted. And she told that my father is a tribal. At that time, no gas mineral, nothing was there. We used to collect wood, dry and dead woods from the forest for our cooking. And my father in the morning used to dress it with the rice. And while dressing, he used to worship there. They extinct that this plant has given us from food, clothes, and shelter. We understand. Right? We are the bark. So this plant has given us food, clothes, and shelter. And under circumstances, I am trying to cut it and burn it. I may be part. This is our culture. And perhaps he was rightly expressing that among the school children to inculcate sense of respect to the plant, respect to the tree, respect to the ecosystem. Better late than never. If we have inculcated this sense, few years back only our generation has experienced the rooftop water happening. Nobody was talking at that time. Now, government in all the big buildings have made a policy like this. I remember when Dr. Srinivas submitted a proposal to government of Odisha under innovative project. I was invited by the principal secretary, maybe as an expert member or something like that, to analyze how to enlist. I requested Dr. Srinivas while approving the project that can we take schools? Those are the right places to demonstrate such concept and charity begins from home. If the school children are aware, hopefully they are the future contributors who can take the concept ahead in the course of time. So friends, definitely it is a good call to nature to address the nature calamities that we are going to face, and each one should take a call appropriately. And it is a joint collaboration, as I see, not only academic institutions, with the civil society organizations like Rotary Club, Heritage or Rotary Club, and also apart from that, all the service providers who are a part of this system. From academic side, I understand there is necessity of making awareness, there is necessity of making customized models. If my roof is 1200 square foot, what kind of a plants are possible? What kind of combinations are possible? What kind of seasonal arrangements are possible? I should be able to speak. And hopefully, in the course of time, my colleagues who are here, they will take a call and try to make such ready-made templates. When people come to ask us, time is not far away. We have to admit. And also, let us call upon the policy makers, how it can be inculcated as a policy in urban life. Hopefully, this may be humble beginning, but I see a great future and all my best wishes for that. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your nice address to this opportunity. So, may I now request the district chair, Rotarian Dr. P. Srinivas, to accord the formal vote of thanks. Please.
Thank you. Very good morning to all respected present here. Dignitaries on the line, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Rahul, thank you very much for allowing Action करते ना फिर बड़ा करप्शन होगा ना तो लोग बस से बस यहाँ चांस निकाल ये
ମୁଁ କୋ-ହୋଷ୍ଟ କଲି ଆପଣ କଣ ବି ହିନ୍ଦୀ ସେୟାର କରିବେ ଇଏ କରିବା
हम्म मैं नहीं गलत है नहीं गलत है वो रखी दिले सब नहीं नमस्कार नमस्कार मचा ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ମୋ ଭଏସ ଶୁଭୁଛି ଭଏସ ଟା ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ମୋର ଟିକେ ଭଏସ ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ମେନ୍ କୁ ଭଏସ ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ हेलो हेलो ठीक है थैंक इको इको हाँ हेलो हेलो अच्छा हेलो ଆପଣ ବାହାରକୁ ପଳାନ୍ତୁ ଦେଖିବେ ମୁଁ ଆସିକି हेलो हेलो देखो भीतर देखिए ଆସିବ ଭଲ ଇଏ ହଉଛି ନା ନାଇଁ ଏକ ହଉଛି ନା ହଉନି ତ ଏକ ହଉନି ତ
ଭଏସ ଠିକ ଅଛି
ଓକେ ଓକେ ଓକେ
କାମ
ମଲ୍ଟି
Okay, she's absent.
Then Related to need deeply educated
istiwala
Okay.
in the subject and his enormous experience, his informative speech, and also his spontaneous celebration. Thank you, sir. I'd also like to say here one thing that he's not only a professor by his profession, but also a practitioner. All the photographs which you have seen is from his own rooftop, which he has gathered and is presented for you. So I think we should be very good and great. So the next speaker is online. Next speaker online. And he is Professor Chandrasekhar Vinadar. His topic is biodiversity gardening for better living in urban areas. So I would like to say a few words to introduce him. He is a earth system scientist, leader of green growth, and also advocate of functional food system. So overall, he is a version of global green growth, and he is from Bengaluru. So let's hear him. Thank you. So we welcome you to this gathering, and I would like that you start your presentation.
Hello. So can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So voice is clear, right? Because of the network I'm sitting here is not good. Okay. So the voice is clear, then I can go ahead with that. And thank you very much again, Dr. Srinivas and the Rotary Club, Bhubaneswar and OEIT for this uh, urban gardening. I think this really became a most important these days. In fact, so we have been practicing for the last 30 years. It's become a kind of a fashion, but I never thought about fashion can be a profession as well. So what I'll do with it, can I assume about 15 minutes time?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, it's now almost 5 to 1 o'clock, so I'll try to finish it as early. So what I'll do is it quickly go through the sum of this the slide. And while traveling across the world, wherever we go, we always did the gardening. And why it's became a important when come back to India, when I start looking into the crisis in the food, especially the healthy food crisis and high pesticides and chemicals that's become a, one of the widespread. We cannot do much with what is doing the mainstream agriculture, but here is what we do in our gardens so that we can control how much chemicals go into the our food system. So when you look into the healthy food, the systems as a choice, right? That is the one thing I always passionate to talking about that how the Panchabhutas is connected. You won't even imagine that our food is that's the land is the poison, water poison, and air is also the polluted. But even in fact, the light, so living in the Delhi when I back to India, so that within 6 months I have the vitamin D3 deficiency. When I check that one, even we're not getting the good light in the city. So that every urban people, they have a issue of the vitamin D3 deficiency along with the vitamin B12 and also the cosmic energy you're not getting. So this is very clear that health is wealth, but are we really protecting them? So this is where why biodiversity became a vital forces. I quickly go through that one. Biodiversity acts as the stacking functions. We grow a lot of the food, but often end up in only eating the couple of the grains and few leaves and couple of the fruits. Often they are mostly exotic in origin. So you need to bring that as stacking functions. When look into the one health and one system, the way you produce, consumes, and dispose the link to the functional food system. That's why the natural farming to the natural food system, they are healthy connections and linked to the almost a survival those things. When look into the number of the vegetables and fruits and edible crops in across the identified germplasm, it's very clear we have enough types of the fruits and vegetables, but we are only eating the mostly the grain, rice, and wheat and few varieties. I will look into the dwindling biodiversity in the urban gardening or even like a vegetable gardens and see that how much the diversity is reduced drastically. So this is where our agri-food systems and in the past we focused on the calorie and yield with reducing the poverty and hunger. But now that is we met, but nutrition and calories along with the wellness and carbon neutral became a important. So when you look into the most of the vegetables in the market, what you can see in the left side is the conventional food. But actually, the what we can grow is a lot more than those type of the foods in our urban gardening. So the why it's become very vital that during the COVID, everyone noticed that the gut biome is a very important diet diversity, amount of the food we eat, and landscape diversity, and that's where the gardening play the vital role. During the COVID and even before that, also we're growing our own food in the rooftop and the balcony garden. So that's enough to be the family if you do in the structure. Like go through that one. So this one during the in the US while we're living there, we started because of the buying the organic food was so expensive. So we started with a small garden, the 8 by 8 square feet, growing for more than 15 types of vegetable in that small space. So that is the kind of the motivations it can produce so much in the multi-layer. And then this is where in our home in India, we are growing nearly more than 50 types of the fruits and vegetables and creepers together. And that's what home can be, home gardening and urban gardening. It's not just about the growing the something green, but also the providing the kind of lungs in the cities. So that 4% of the green cover reduces 1 degree temperature. So this is where the very important. So when you do the gardeners, they know that one when do the gardening and especially the exposure to the actinomycete, that feel good hormones, and that really what's called happiness chemicals. So this is what when do the gardening and stay along with the plants and have a cup of the coffee with a rooftop garden, that makes a lot of the difference. And one thing is also look at that one, we eat a lot of the who wastes the most food and why nutrition became. You heard about the brain fog. When you eat a lot of the junk food, looks like a belly is full, but within 2 hours you'll get hungry because of the glycemic, the insulin that jumps and the drops suddenly, then you feel hungry, but the food is still in the stomach. So that's what the lack of the nutrition. So that, I wrote the article, probably I send it to the Dr. Srinivas. You get that copy of the article and look into the amount of the nutrition losses happens. The most produces losses 30% of nutrients after the 3 days of the harvest. In fact, there's one of the California University, the study that one, you are eating the spinach, that right, like 55% of the vitamin C, they can lost in 90% within the 24 hours of the harvest. That means when the vegetable harvest and that must be eaten within the 24 hours. But what do we do? The market already bought, they put in the supermarket for a couple of days, then you bring it and put in the refrigerator for a few days, then you can cook and eat. Most of the nutrition is lost. That's why you end up in eating more, but lack of the nutrition. This is the one of the very, very vital forces that why home gardening with at least some vegetables is very become essential. So this is what the look into the food chain and loss of the nutrition from the, if you have the garden, get immediately bring to your plate and cook it, hardly any losses is there. But look into the like a supermarket and a food delivery where the lot of the food comes for cooked and delivered. They often is not cooked in the fresh. The 80% nutrition is lost. So that even eating the very small portion from the home garden is much better and nutritious than the eating a lot of the food from the delivery. So this is where the very critical. So that's what I call it. I always call the best investment parents can do the investing teaching the children of nature and functional stacking. And this is what example I've given earlier. And joy of growing is really the children's growing with your home garden is not just about producing something also connected to the nature. And often people call me that, sir, not a space to where we can grow the plants in home garden. Most of the urban cities and apartments, they not have space. So of course, only few people have access to the roof. Then we also found that how to grow along the wall and balcony garden and window sills and like that can be done even front pergola. That's one like that. So there's so many ways to grow the plants. When I look into the urban area across the India, this is how you can look at. Mostly nothing is growing in the urban landscape. So that's what you need to bring the more diversity into the urban landscape. And border stick garden became a vital forces. So these are vegetables I grown in our backyard, but of course we have the large backyard. But some of them can easily grow very well, and also providing some habitat for the birds and other things. So this is the key things for that one. Secondly, what we call the soil health, home composting, And we did this what's called pipe composting, and I can put that perforated pipe into the your garden pots and the garden, adding that vegetables in every day, and that is where that feeds into the your garden. And also, of course, nowadays a lot of the different home composting approaches are there. But creating your own enzymes and compost is really a very good way to feed your plants. And this is what the home composting approach. It also turn into the very beautiful. You can put some the rag around them and put some creepers and bird nest when it don't looks like composting. But another approach is that very the critical is that we need to do the planting the multiple layers, right? Because of we are the very limited space. We can, for example, here is one example I given in the about the very large pot about 40 to 60 feet the wide, and putting the one drumstick there. Even here, my Bangalore, the rooftop, you have a drumstick, and then you can grow some creepers on that, and also the basils and tomatoes and the brinjal you can grow as a mid layer, and start and give some the lettuce, other things. So this what that they can maximize the total area, but also build a symbiotic relation between the plant that the nutrition level in the vegetable much higher, so that you can vertically making use of the space, right? So this is often people have very limited space in the balconies. So I created this about 8 square feet garden. That is the really small space about the you can dimension you can see that 1.5 meters into 70 centimeters. So that's really you can bring about nearly 10 to 15 vegetables you can grow there for the daily consumptions. Within we started about May 20, by June 20, it is already they are the kids are picking up some fresh leaves for their salad. So like that, you can make it some lettuces and put that one this kind of the balcony or roof, so that can grow into the big nice the pergola, and also the nice summer space for the sitting the roof, and also the water management. So often you travel big in the cities and going to the jobs and travels, we need to have something the automated irrigation systems and available nowadays, and you can also build like this with a small irrigation system, and also you can turn it to the, if a large roof, we can turn it to automatic irrigation system. And also in the rural areas, I saw a lot of the, when I visited the few rural areas, I see a lot of their bath water coming out and staying in front of their house. And we turn that into putting the kind of a couple of the sink pit and asking them not to use the harsh chemicals and use the organic washing and bathing and shampoos. And really, that's the ugly side became one of the very nice garden pit like this. So this is what you need to create like that, the even the small spaces there as well. So start with a small, and you can experiment your own locations, what combination can grow. You can turn to a big forest like this, right? So we have to experiment that. We grow like a lot of the chilies, your favorite vegetables, what are there. Then you can also, if the large space there, you can do the kind of a vertical fence gardening, and there you can grow a lot of the things along the fence. And this is our garden here in the Muddebeyal in Karnataka. There are more than about 50 types of vegetables in the combinations. And also the same thing, you can do a small backyard kitchen garden. You can grow the lot of the pepper and the drumstick, and you can plan in a very systematic way to turn into the very lucrative garden, and we can harvest almost like every day. So these are the birds and bees and butterflies. They are very good friends in the garden. They pick up the most of the insect like the sparrows, the nest, and usually they pick about nearly 20 to 30 caterpillar per hour, and that way they reduces the lot of the pest require the control. So this is what makes the diverse choice of food with a great flavor taste that comes from the growing at home. And also you can dry them, some of them excess you can use for the later. And this is what we did. This is the one our home garden here is in Bangalore, so that we also growing some other things. And also the school gardens. Some of the school turned entire the plants into the what is called vegetable garden, and also the fruit trees. All them are edible fruit trees. They grow in there. They can use for the midday meals, and you can think about that urban space. How best you can turn the school gardens, even like a we have very example of the gray where they turn into the very food forest and like a nice evening place to go and sit there. So you can like that, you can turn the big space into the sustainable way. Even like a, within the tree trunk, you can put some of the old logs. You can inoculate with something like a the mushrooms, you can also grow the very good mushroom in your home garden rooftop with a dampy area. And why I'm telling all these things is that the lot of the software and the city jobs are going to eliminate very soon because of the AI taking over last of the service sector jobs. So what is our agriculture used to be like a 60 to 70% GDP now come to the less than about the 17% now, and where industry service sector went nearly more than 54%. But this is going to be reversed in the new the way of the market segment is going to change, so that we need to have create a lot of this green space that can create the economic return. So why this is where I call it as the you start from the urban level, but that can be transferred into very urban as a region with ecosystems, so that we can more return of the investment should be coming. So this is the way we bring into the lot of the vision that we look into the heat Lancet commissions. They recommend that at least 50% of our plate should have a fresh fruits and vegetables, and rest 50% eat whatever uh, food we can eat. But right now in India, less than 10% we are eating the fresh fruits and vegetables in our plate, and most of them is only the starch and rice and wheat. Very few of the vegetables. But the target is by 2030 that at least 30% of the populations living in urban areas have access to the 30% of their food plate coming from the fresh fruits and vegetables. So that's where we reached about what we call our target of the 2030. And then if we reach by 50%, that is what we do sustainable production system. So the way we can bring into the lot of the functional systems and leveraging the traditional knowledge, technology. Nowadays, with the coming with a lot of the AI tools, you can know that what crops you can grow to their particular location, what combinations, and a lot of the organic seeds also very important. So you need to be considered that growing a lot of these seeds. So this is what you need to do: the create the urban landscape that is more viable, more greener, and what we building now it's called a farm as a living ecosystem, a house a living ecosystem, net zero living. In the village, we have a house you can harvest the all the water required for the entire year, and solar energy. And you put your garden also that at least meet about essential nutrients in terms of the leaves and vegetables. And the green vegetables, you can get the very fresh leafy vegetables from your garden staggered planting. So that can be a lot of things. So I hope this is the what I think about 15 minutes. I will stop here. If any questions, I'm happy to take.
Thank you, sir. Very nice and very informative presentations. Thank you, sir. Any questions?
Sir, we are not able to interact directly with the audience because of some system here. So we will collect the questions and then I will transmit it to you, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for excellent presentation.
Thank you. Amazing presentation, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Particularly, we are facing one problem in the rooftop gardening. During the heavy rainfall, when the rainfall per day exceeds 400, 500 millimeter, how we can protect this rooftop plants which has been planted?
Yeah, the question is during the heavy rainfall, right? How to protect the roof garden? Okay, it's a very interesting question. Say the heavy rainfall as well as the heat wave in the summer, very high summer and a lot of the heat. So that one thing is the shade nets is a very good protections, and also the putting your soil is the best thing for everything. If the soil is very healthy and very porous and good the composition of the sand, silt, and compost, it will be basically taken care. You make sure that very good drainage in the, if you are growing the potted plants, there must be very good drainage, and also they can keep something like some wood or leaf or something raw, what's called gravels in the bottom of the big pots when before adding the soil. so that the good drainage will make most of the things taken care. And if you feel like the too high rain and also like sometimes the wind and sometimes the very hot conditions, it will burn the leaf. That times the shade nets is really help, at least on the top side, but not on the all the side, but top side provide very good. So the good soil is the best bet for everything.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So, thanks a lot, Professor Viradhan sir. Yeah, so our next speaker is Ms. Asim Gokan. Let me introduce her. She is a architect and she is designed technology-based spaces with a blend of horticulture and architecture. She is the only one and has the only twice been nominated as the expert on the state environmental appraisal committee. She is the first Indian to be invited as a panelist in the 100th year conference of International Society. She has books to her credit, Secret of Urban Backyard, which is accepted by the Forest Library at FRI Dehradun. So, madam, we invite you. Her topic is vertical garden, and she is really going to keep you mesmerized. Thank you.
Slideshow share करो. Slideshow.
Madam, you are muted.
अनम्यूट कर लीजिए मैडम.
I'm करो उसमें.
Yeah, just give me a moment.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'll just share. Just give me a moment.
So let me tell you more about madam. She has started the syllabus and is also a faculty of University of Mumbai on landscape design, and she is awarded the Gold Sachs Global Women Entrepreneur Award for 2023. She is the woman achiever in the Vishnu Marathi Samvitan Maharashtra. She is CEO and principal consultant of AGS Design. Her enterprise and her work is there in 8 states and 26 cities. She has created 100 billion square feet of urban forest and urban landscape in 11 years. So, a lot of credit to Madam.
Slides.
And she's ready.
I don't know why this is not going in the slideshow.
Go to slideshow.
I'm trying to put this. Okay, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I believe everybody can hear me now, right? So, good morning, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Asim Gokan Harvansh. I've been practicing in the field of landscape, horticulture, and environment for quite some time now. And I don't know, in the slideshow, this is not going ahead. Can I take it out? Okay, so this is it. So, well, they've already spoken a lot about me. I'm just going to rush through these slides. Hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, now it is okay.
Yeah, but you know, when I am trying to do this, the thing is not okay. Okay, so we're going to talk about vertical gardens. I think one of the closest things to everybody's heart is growing plants. And as the organization is increasing, we really do not find space to grow trees, space to grow plants. And I think man is extremely intelligent. He's always trying to create some or the other technology. And one of the simplest technology that was existing was to grow creepers or climbers on mesh walls, which were actually vertical gardens in the olden times. And today, I think we have gone a step ahead and come with a lot which allows us to use this innovation and grow different kinds of vertical garden walls. This wall that you see on your screen today is nothing but a small garden on a balcony wall, giving you natural sunlight, and that's why the wall is looking. There are different types of vertical gardens that we can look at. One of the things that you see here are the compound walls. Compound walls, many times when buildings are made, you need to leave about 6 meters for the fire tender to move around the building. And in the process, the builders sacrifice the space for plantation. What can we do at that time? Because we still need something that can absorb the volatile organic compounds when the vehicles are passing. We can something that can absorb the pollutants in the air, and something that can breathe out oxygen. And as you all know, plants are the only things that can breathe out oxygen. So you can actually transform your entire compound walls into such kinds of vertical gardens. Or you can use it as a focal point in many of the hotel lobbies or many building lobbies. You have some kind of statue or a sculpture kept. We can create a green wall around them. We can also create something like a camouflage wall. Now, what do we mean by a camouflage wall? In case of a camouflage wall, many times in a garden or in a public space, you have certain things that look shabby or that need not be exposed to every public eye. They have to be under wraps, or they are private places, or maybe there are ugly spaces like toilets. Toilets never look very beautiful unless they are designed and kept like that. So you can camouflage these by using again this concept and use them as camouflage walls. Of course, indoor plants is what I think many of us are keeping. India has such a great heritage that we have always been worshipping plants. We had Devrais from the longest time that we know. Our civilization, especially the Indian heritage, has been following Devrais, where villages protect the trees around them. In the urban cities, how can we add a green touch? Maybe creating an indoor green wall, because you don't have space. How much is the space that a green wall will take? 4 inches, 6 inches, 8 inches maximum from the wall. And I think that is why vertical gardens are now becoming so important. And people have become more and more innovative. They have started using combinations. Like you can see in this picture here, there is a wood paneling along with the green wall, and it is looking very beautiful. Or if you look here, this is a live mural wall. We create murals. Artists create murals by different, by paint, by using scrap material. Today, we have the liberty and the imagination to create live mural walls. Now, what are the different styles of vertical garden? Vertical gardens, like I always say, the easiest way is to just grow plants in your ground and allow a mesh or a wire on which the plants can climb. But not everybody is fortunate enough to have a bungalow or a green or a mother earth space where the plants can be grown. In that case, these are the systems you can use. The vertical wall systems is what I'm going to talk to you in detail. Curtain planters, very simple curtain planters which hang like a curtain. This is one way you can do it. Series of hanging planters. You can just have planters that can be hung with the help of rope. Here we have done it with the help of a chain. We can have planters in a grid. What do you mean by vertical gardens? You want to have plants on a vertical space rather than a horizontal space, right? So you can just fabricate a grid like this, put your normal pots in that. Here you can see pots. If you grow plants that are falling or that are creeping, then the pots will not be visible. Another thing that you can do is you can have pipe planters. Now, what do we mean by pipe planters? Pipe planters are pipes, okay, that need not even have the soil media. You can actually have some kind of a water medium or hydroponics by which your plants can grow naturally. Another thing that we have is wall decor. Now, these are all imaginations and innovativeness that people like horticulturists, people who are plant lovers, architects, interior designers have tried to bring all these together. And this, if you can see here, is like a wall. Okay, it's like a frame which again has a green planter. So it is all up to us. The tagline of my company is everything you can imagine is real. And this is by the famous Pablo Picasso. And I think that is the power of the human mind. You can make real what you can imagine, right? You just need to understand how you can have these things together with the help of some expertise of someone who has already done it or is interested in doing it. Here is what I am going to explain to you. Vertical gardens, which are system-based vertical gardens. So if you can see here, these are modular trays. Okay, this is the wall, and this is a fabricated structure which allows you to hang these vertical pots. Now, the pot size can vary from 4 inches to 8 inches. It will depend again upon how much space you can allow to have a vertical garden wall. The another system that you see here is a felt pocket. You know, you have a material felt, which is in the form, we felt always absorbs water. So we here what you do is you have a felt pockets made and plants are grown in that. You just hang this felt pockets on the wall. The third thing over here that you see over here is horticultural. Again, these are horizontal felt system. If you look at how the plants are growing here, they are growing here vertically, right? Which is actually how the plants always orient themselves. Whereas over here, the plants are growing horizontally, right? So horizontal growing is not recommended because most of the plants eventually will start growing towards the sun. But sometimes there are certain plants that do very well. They are basically ground covers and they can definitely be grown in this kind. This type of system is mostly used when you want to make live plant murals. Now, if you look at this side, these are the ground planters that I was talking about. How you have a planter in the ground and you allow it to climb on the wall. Again, this is similar, but over here, instead of the wall, we have created a mesh or we have created something that will allow it to climb. The third thing over here is many times what happens, it is very difficult to have one plant growing extremely tall. In that case, you have made planters at different heights and then allowed the plants to grow on them so that they cover up the whole thing. Now, you know, many times I come across certain facade architects who tell me that, Asim, we want to make an entire green facade. Now, what they forget to do is, if you have to plan a vertical garden in your facade, you have to decide it before while designing your facade and not after it is designed and after it is constructed. Because plants are living beings. We need to have water. We need to give them water. We need to also drain the water. We can't have the water stagnating in the pots. So this system of, you know, how the water will go, how it will be collected, all this needs to be integrated when you are making your facades. So here you can see there is a pump and there is a waterway. The channel leaves the water, it goes on the top, it comes down, and it again gets collected. So this is a brilliant way of recycling. So what we are doing here is we are recycling the same water again and again. All you need to do is mix up your nutrients out here in this particular place where you have a small pump, a Tulu pump or a small pump, and that will pump the water up. It gets collected. These are systems that are very easily available in the market today. You can also create on your own by just creating a drain pipe underneath the planters, directing the drain pipe into the next planter, again similar for the next planter, and finally directing it to the sump or to the main collection point from where the water can be pumped again up. So this is how there are different systems of vertical gardens. I'm going to show you a few examples of how these installations are actually done. So in case of a biowall vertical garden process, if you see here, what they have done is they have first made the plastic grid. On this grid, we will be putting these pots. Now, the best and the convenient form of these is, suppose a pot is not doing good, you can just take out that pot and put in another pot. Isn't that fantastic? So suppose you create a mural and you feel that one particular pot or 5-6 pots are not doing well, you can just lift those pots and you can put them elsewhere. Now, let's go to this. So these are the pots that I was talking about, 4 inches to 8 inches. Just see how easily, how different size pots are there. They have these hooks at the back All you need to do is then plug them into those hooks and allow your plants to go. Even the shape, if you see, is not square. Why? Because in a slant, all the water gets accumulated at the bottom, at one end. And in the times when you do not water it, this water is again slowly absorbed by the plant, or it gets drained by the filtration unit that is added to it. So this is a hook pot and a bio wall. It is called flexible because it allows you the flexibility of changing every pot that is there. Now, this is another system which I mentioned where you put the plants horizontally, not vertically. Okay. So smaller plants can be used in this kind of a system where again the pots, there are holes, and in these holes, see how these holes are? If you can see these holes. So these are the plants put here. See what a beautiful mural they have made. Right? So again, these are available in various sizes. You can choose your size and accordingly put in your material inside. So these are direct bags that you can put inside, or direct, planters that you can put inside and take them out as and when you need. This is a portable vertical garden. Okay. In a portable vertical garden, you already have pockets made in plastic. You can just, it's nothing. In simpler words, it is just planters which are fixed in a vertical form, and all you can do is just plant your plants, lift them and put them, and that's it. Take them wherever you want to go to, and that is why this system is called a portable system. So this is how an installation of a portable system can take place. See, this is how you can screw it up on your walls. You can put in now the medium used here is very important. We can't just use soil, because understand the weight of this particular vertical garden wall is going to come on the wall that has already been erected. And that is why we say that in larger installations, one has to understand how much weight is going to come and build that wall accordingly. Whether it needs to be 8 inches, 12 inches, 14 inches, that needs to be decided at the first. So we always tell the architects, who are designing building facades, please come to us in the planning stage, because later on, things would not be appropriate to do or give you the kind of wall that you are looking at. Normally, what people normally do is coco peat, which is made up of coconut husk, is very easily available. You can make a mixture of coco peat and little bit of soil, little bit of manure. People like to fertilize these kinds of systems with the help of water-soluble fertilizers. So there are a lot of water-soluble fertilizers that are available today. You can also look at organic forms, because a lot of organic water-soluble fertilizers are available in the market. Or you can just use something like a stearamine, or you can make your own compost, which you can use in these. But you must remember that these gardens are going to be inside. They may not get sufficient sunlight like the normal outdoor gardens get sometimes. Okay, of course, you can also put them on the outer wall. So accordingly, you have to be very cautious. What is the fertilizer you are using? How much is the water you are putting? Today, there are systems where this entire thing can be automated and it can come on your mobile phone. Absolutely, it is as easy and as simple as that. You can just operate the system from wherever place you are, or you can just have a tap. You can open the tap manually and close it after some time once your soil are moist. This is the felt garden, again a felt vertical installation system. So look at the end product, look at this wall. Finally, it looks very much the same. Which one you must use, which one you must adapt, all depends upon what is your wall strength, what is the condition there. Have you got good amount of sun? Can you grow hardy plants? Or are you going to go plants which are more succulent, which are more soft? It all depends upon that. I'm going to show you or speak to you about how to fill these pots. So, these are typical cocoa discs that you are available in the market, some plant food, okay, which you can put up in these. And, speaking about urban culture today, you want to grow your own food. You know, people are coming back to growing their own food. Just before me, Dr. Biradar spoke about how you can grow your own food. So when you're growing your own food, one of the most, people like to eat a lot of salads today, a lot of herbs today. So you can definitely grow these in these vertical gardens. You can have basil, rosemary, oregano, parsley, uh, coriander, which is called as cilantro. All these can easily be grown today. How is what I've just spoken to you? How we can grow even in 3-inch to 4-inch pots. All you need to do is get the system right, decide where you want. Today you can actually modify. You know, if you have a 8 feet wall, you can have a system for an 8 feet wall. If you have a smaller wall, you can have design the system for a smaller wall. And this is the way you can get the herbs growing. These are a few seeds. Now, where are these available? I am just trying to show you that they are also available on e-commerce site, or you can always buy them from the agricultural institutions, the colleges, or the people who are vendors selling these. But they are also available on the e-commerce site today, and they are, so it is so easy. So first and foremost, if you have this in your mind that growing something like this is going to be difficult, please change that mindset. I think changing your mindset is the first need of accepting that vertical gardens are going to be welcomed. And as India progresses into more and more urbanization, people are going to grow their food, people are going to grow their herbs, people are going to have aesthetic plants growing on vertical walls. So this is how you can grow them. This is about a book that I have released in the US, and it is available on the Amazon. And this is the way you can connect with me. I tried to keep my talk for about 15 minutes because I was hoping if you have any questions, you can ask. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, on Instagram. Thank you. Any questions? Hello?
One more day away to Bhubaneswar, and I'm the president of Indian Climate Congress. This is a really excellent what we have done, but I have one query, not a technical question. You say in vertical gardens, what happens? Management of soil, water, and also drainage system is really what we feel is difficult also. During your whole talk, I didn't find about the cost benefit ratio. Suppose 1 square meter vertical garden, what is the cost and what is the benefit? Cost benefit you have not mentioned. In case you have done it, will you just clarify these points?
Sure. See, the installations of vertical garden, like I said, there are different types of installations. The most easiest installation is creating a grid and planting the plant. So what is the cost that you will add is the cost of the grid as such. Anywhere in the range of about 125 rupees per square feet to a larger amount is the cost that is normally calculated for one installation of 1 square feet of a vertical garden, as per the calculations that have been done. So the simplest and the most cost efficient can be 125 rupees of square feet, and then it can grow increase up to even 600 or 780 rupees a square feet. So depending upon the systems that you are using. Now, if you are looking at what could be the benefits, see, there are certain benefits which can be tangible, certain benefits that are intangible. So if you have darker pockets in your lobbies, and if you want to create a more of oxygen out there, and you do not have space for putting a huge plant, okay, because the photo lights that you can also put plant lights that allow the plants to grow. These will be again put on the ceiling. So you are actually not utilizing any ground space which would be otherwise utilized for people to walk on. You're using all these inconspicuous corners and trying to give something which will add more greenery, more value, because it is going to emit, it is going to sequester carbon, it is going to emit oxygen. And of course, if you have vegetables or anything growing in them, that again is, the happiness of cultivating your own vegetables and eating those. But if you look at the cost definitely, the minimum cost that you take is about 125 rupees, ranging to about 780 rupees a square.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Again, as India is varied, the cost may vary. This is the cost in Mumbai, because I'm based out of Mumbai and we do a lot of vertical systems here in Mumbai. It may be a little cheaper even or cost effective in other countries, because the fabrication cost over other cities, because the fabrication cost there will definitely reduce.
Okay, thank you all, madam. Respected co-chairman, rapporteurs, and coordinator of the sessions, Rotarians, faculties, innovations, and landlords, many students. So in this session, there are 4 talks, and all talks are very informative. They are presented very nice. So this rooftop garden concept, we were there in the past. Our 4 colors are already activated. So you see the village, there are 2 concepts are there. One is the backward garden, another is rooftop garden. So in the park there is no buildings, private houses are there. And our 4 colors are growing concrete asphalt on the roof of the go back to those food items so that our health will be reduced. So all these have been discussed by Dr. Praduna. Department is not only a academic professor, he is a professor of practice. Second of all is CM Builder. Despite about to home care diagnosis in Europe, then he showed vegetables should be eaten fresh. If we buy the vegetables from the market, it is 5, 7 or 8. So he described if the vegetables are eaten after harvest, it gives 55% of its nutrients carried out. So this rooftop gardening is a scope to provide you the fresh vegetables, and by eating that you will get all the nutrients. He also described about vertical gardening, and he also described how to prepare the compost. So for leafy vegetables, compost is a very good medium. You provide compost, then no need to apply any fertilizers. And he described how to make compost. That is the gold, black gold, which provide to the soil. He also provide for irrigations, school gardening, all these things. He has nice presented. The third speaker, Austin Gokran, presented online. So he described about vertical gardens, different types of vertical gardens like compost wall gardens, focal point gardens, compost wall gardens, and also he described hydroponics. So growing the plants without soil, only in water. So in that way, so all these topics have been well described, and I hope their presentation will help you a lot for creating, for visualizing the alignment concept, particular alignment concept in your life, and I hope many of you can practice if you have any scope. Thank you all for your presence here.
Thank you, sir, for such nice observations. Now it's the time for felicitation. So I would request our chairman, sir, of this session to felicitate our speaker, Professor Pradyumna Tripathi, sir. Now I would request our co-organizing secretary, Dr. Nityamanti Mishra, to felicitate our chairman and our co-chairmen. Chairman Professor Kailash Chandra Sama sir, our co-chairman Professor Pradyumna Tripathi and Dr. E. Srinivas sir. Thank you. So now we have come to the end of the session. Our next session will be at 2:30. Now it's time for lunch, so we can proceed for lunch. Thank you very much.
लाइट बंद करदा भाई लाइट बंद करदा शक्ति संचय करिया
नहीं हाउ जल्दी दिस ना इस बोल
बोले तो हां हां हां
एसएस फोन के बजे चले चाचा
चाचा बंद कर आपण खाई दी पळे आसन
हां ମାନେ ମୁଁ ନ ରହିଲେ ଚଳିବ କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ହଉନି
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ ଖାଲି ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ଟା କୋन କଲେ ଏଟା ଏଟା
ଏଇଟା ହେଲା ଆମ ଲ୍ୟାପଟପ୍
ହଁ ହଁ
ବାସ୍ ସେଇଟା
ଏଟା
ଏଇଟା
ମାଇକ୍ରୋ
ଏଇ କୋଡି
ହଁ ହଁ ହଁ
ଏଟା କମେଇ ଦେତେ ତ
ଆଗ ପଛ କରିବା କଥା
ସେତିକି ହଁ ଠିକ ବାସ୍ ସେତିକି ଆଉ
ଖାଇ ଦିଅ
ହଁ ହଁ
ହଁ ଖାଇ ଦିଅ ଏଟା ଲକ୍ କରା ହେଲା ସେଟା ବି ଲକ୍ କରବା अच्छा ଟିକେ ଆସ୍ପାରି
लैपटॉप चलती
लाइट का देखिए तो लाइट जा रही है या लासन बोलो मु तो इने लई छुआरी पूरे जरो से फोटो खाली ये बोल पूजा 4000 है और उन्होंने ये बोल दिया
6 बुझिलो केते सब से केते 6 बुझिलो माइनस को केते कम पे के रास्ता से सीधी प्रचार करिए
ये ऑटोमेटिक हो ना भाई ना वो
स्विच लागे
अच्छा
ये सिस्टम का आदरे नुआ आसी
अच्छा कौन कहला एडा
जो प्रेशर से लाइक
नहीं नहीं एडा कौन एडा देई चंद कि आसु तो आसु के पे
ना सिस्टम सब अलग अलग है नोटबुक सरकार तार सरकार सब अलग अलग है
ना एडा केंदि कहीं कौन हेलो हेलो
ना सेटा डीजे प्रापो जतळ कहबो
ऊपर
सेगडा किछ काम सेरा किछ जो प्याज है अरे भाई खाइबा सब नहीं कौन बेटा खाइबा सॉरी
समझ सरियो बाहर खाइबा
ये वार्म आइटम होता है
सुगर लाइट लगी मतलब ए सेटडा कत ही देव है खर्च लाखिया खर्च होई दियो
लक्ष्य 70 हमर एस्टिमेट
एस्टिमेट
70
ए कोन रूफटॉप रो 4.5 कोटी 83 लाख आउथरे जो पर जो आसिला सबनी से जागे जा लकिल हबो दिया लाइट
वो से कुछ खर्च देखेबे कोन खर्च रे लाइट बिजली लाइट
आने सेगुडा नहीं हमें से ग्रो बैग और ये सब करी की करबा भाई रखो ଆମର ଖାଲି ଫ୍ରେମ୍ ଲାଇନ୍ ହେଲେ ହେଇଯିବ ଯୋଉ ଲାଇଟ୍ ଯୋଉ ନାହିଁ କି ଲାଇଟ୍ ବାଲା ଯିଏ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଅଛି ଭେଣ୍ଡର ଯୋଉ ଆସୁଛି ତାଙ୍କୁ କହିଲେ ସିଏ ଆମ ଲୋକ ଆମେ କିଣିବା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ କୋଉଟା ଏଇ ଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡ ନା ହଁ 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 ନା ଏଇଟା ଭଲ ଅଛି 12,000 କିଛି ମନ୍ଦ ନାହିଁ ଆମେ କରିଛୁ ଆପଣ ଦେଖୁଥିବେ ଆଉଜାର ଗୋଟେ ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ବକ୍ସ ଅଛି ଆଉଜାର
ଆଜ୍ଞା ଆଜ୍ଞା
ସେଠି
ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଲ୍ୟାପଟପ୍ ଏଠି କନେକ୍ଟ
ହଁ ସାର୍ ସେଇଟା ହେଇଛି
ସେଇଟା
ହଁ
ସେଇଠୁ
ହଁ ହଁ ଏଇଟା ଆଉଜାର ଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡ ଆସୁଛି ଦେଖିଥିବେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ବକ୍ସର ହଁ ଯୋଉ ଆସୁଛି ତା ଉପରେ
ଇଏ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ସେ ଯାଇକି ଯିବ
ଏଇଟା ଭାଇ କିନ୍ତୁ ଅର୍ଡରଟା କେମିତି କରିବା ଅର୍ଡର କେମିତି କରିବା
ଆପଣ ପେମେଣ୍ଟ କରିବେ ମୁଁ ପଠେଇଦେବି
ହଁ ହଁ
ଆମରି ଏଇ କଲେଜ ଆପଣ
ହଁ ହଁ ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ ଆମେ ମୁଁ
ଜବରଦସ୍ତ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି
ଅଗସ୍ତ୍ୟ ହବ ନାଇଁ କି ଆମ ଲୋକ
ସେମିତି କିଛି
ହେଲା କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ
ସେ
ହଁ
ସେଇଟା ଚଲଉଛନ୍ତି କି
ମୁଁ ସାର୍ ମୁଁ
ହଁ
କହୁନାହାନ୍ତି ସାର୍
ନା ଠିକ ଅଛି ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଆସିକି
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ଡାକି ଦଉନାହାନ୍ତି ଦେଖେଇଦା
ଲଞ୍ଚ ପରେ ନା ସେକେଣ୍ଡ
ହଁ ଲଞ୍ଚ ପରେ ସାର୍ ସାର୍ ଦେଖି ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ଟିକେ
ଏଇ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ
ହଁ ଡାକି ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମକୁ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଆସନ୍ତୁ
ବିଷୟରେ ମିଶି ଇଏ କରିବେ
ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଏଠି ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଟ୍ରାଏଲ ହେଡ଼ି ଏଇଟା
ସେଇ
ଆପଣଙ୍କର
ଫ୍ୟାସିନେଟିଂ ୱାର୍ଲ୍ଡ
ହଁ ଏଠି ଦେଖେଇଦେଲି ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଟ୍ରାଏଲ ଦେଖେଇ ଦଉଛି ରୁହନ୍ତୁ ସ୍ଲାଇଡ୍ ଶୋ ଫ୍ରମ୍ ବିଗିନିଂ ଏଠି ଟିଭିରେ ଦେଖି ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ହଁ ହଁ ଭଲ ଲାଗେ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ହଁ ସେ ପର୍ଦାଟା ଖୋଲି ଦଉନାହାନ୍ତି ଯୋଉ ପଛପଟ ପିନ୍ଟା ଖୋଲି ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ବାହାରି ପଡ଼ିବ ହଁ ହଁ ଏଇଟା ତ ଭଉଁରୀ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ହେଇଥିବ ନା ଏମିତି ଖୋଲି ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ହଁ ନାଇଁ ଆପଣ ଦେଖି ଦେଇଥାନ୍ତୁ
ପରେ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଅଛି ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଆଉଟକାର ଅଛି ତାପରେ
ହଁ ଟିକେ ସେ ବହିଟାରେ ମୋର ଅଛି ଏଇ ସେ ବହିଟା ଏଇ ହଁ ସାର୍ ହଁ ସାର୍ ଭଲ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ହଁ କୁହନ୍ତୁ ଓଝା ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ମଞ୍ଜୁ ଓଝା 3ଟାରୁ 4ଟା
ତିନିଟା ଚାରିରୁ ସେ ଯୋଉ ପୋଷ୍ଟ ଲଞ୍ଚ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଆଉଟକାର ଅଛି
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ରିପୋର୍ଟର ମାନେ ହଁ ଡାଟାଲ ଭିନାଞ୍ଜ ଭେଲୁ ମଞ୍ଜୁ ଓଝା ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଆପଣ ଡିକ୍ଟର କାଲିଆଭାନ ଥାର୍ଡ ଲକ୍ଷ୍ମଣ ପାଲ୍ଟା ସିଂ ହଁ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ୱାନ୍ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ହଁ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ସେ ଟିଭିଟା ଦେଖି ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ଟିକେ ଆପଣ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଇଂଲିଶ ଆଉ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ମିକ୍ସିଂ କରି କୁହନ୍ତୁ ମାନେ ମାନେ ମିକ୍ସିଂ କରି କହିଲେ ଲୋକ ବୁଝିପାରିବେ ଏଇଠି ଖାଲି ଇଂଲିଶ ଅଧା କାନ ସେ ସାଇଡରେ ପଳଉଛି କଥା ହଁ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ
କହିଲେ ଏଠି ସେ
ହଁ 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 चला मैडम बस हाँ बस हाँ बस କୋଉଟା ଦେବେ ନା ପୁରୋ ମାଇକ୍ରୋକଲଚର ଦେଖେ ହଁ 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 ଆପଣ ହଁ ମୁଁ ଡାକିବି ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଷ୍ଟେଜ ଡାକୁନ କି ହେଲ୍ପ କର ହଁ ହଁ କୋଉଠୁ ଏଠି କେତେବେଳେ ନାଇଁ କେତେବେଳେ ରଖିବି କାଲି ସାର୍ ଏମପି ଆସିଥିଲେ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନା କଣ?
ଏ ରାଜୀବ ବାବୁ
ନା ସେ ଖାଇବେ
ହେଇଛି ନା ଲାପଟପଟା ନେଇଯିବି
କୋଉଟା
ଏଇଠି ମୋର ବ୍ୟାଗ୍ ଅଛି ପୁନିଆ ସାର୍ଙ୍କ ବ୍ୟାଗ୍ ମୋ ପାଖରେ ଅଛି
ଆପଣ କଣ ଚେଷ୍ରେ ଆସନ୍ତି?
ହଁ ନାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଆସିଛି ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟର
ଆଚ୍ଛା
ରିସୋର୍ସ ପର୍ସନ ଫର୍ ଟୁଡେ ଆଫ୍ଟରନୁନ୍
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଇଏ ଲଞ୍ଚ ପରେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା କହୁଛନ୍ତି ତ କେତେ ଟାଇମ୍
ସେତେବେଳେ ଚାରିଜଣ ରଖିଛନ୍ତି
ମୋର ଥିବ ଏଲ୍କେ ପାଲଟାସି
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ମୁଁ ନା ଏଲ୍କେ ପାଲଟାସି କେତେବେଳେ ଦେଖିଲି ଟାଇମ୍ rooftop turning rooftop garden to an enterprise. Okay. Last one.
এটা আপনার লাস্ট
କେତେ ଟାଇମ୍
এটা ଗୋଟେ ଘଣ୍ଟା ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ଚାରିଜଣ
ହଁ
ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଆଗରୁ 3 ଜଣ ଅଛନ୍ତି
ହଁ
ଅନଲାଇନ୍ ଅଛି ତାପରେ
ମୋ ଟାଇମ୍ ଅଛି
ସେଟା କହିଲି ତାର ଭିତରେ ଘଣ୍ଟେ ଭିତରେ 4 ଜଣ ଆସି 15 ମିନିଟ୍ ଧରେ ତ ଏକ୍ସାକ୍ଟ ଟାଇମ୍ ଦେଖିନାହାନ୍ତି ଯେ ହେଇଥିବ ସେଇ 3:45 এটা 3ଟାରୁ 4ଟା 4 ଜଣ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଅଛି
ମୋର ସେଇ 3ଟା ପଇଁଚାଳିଶ
3:30 ପରେ 3:30 ପରେ ଅଛି
ହଁ ହଁ
3:45
ହଉ ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି
Yes, hello. स्टूडेंट जो माने अच्छे तो कह दो से ना तो पोस्टर सेशन चालू ऑन ହେଇଗଲେ ପିଲାକୁ କେଠି ବସି ପଡୁଛନ୍ତି ତ କେତେ ପିଲା हेलो 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 कल्याण भाई ये साउंड गुडा ऑन करियर अछि बंद होई अछि ना और को दो नाथि हेलो कोन ओहो ଏବେ ପଛଟା ବୁଝିବି ନା ହଉ हेलो 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 कोटा की हेलो 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 हेलो
सेकंड का करें एक अच्छा
हां ऑन ऑफ तो
खाली ऑफ से तो
बस
So we are going to start the post-lunch session now. And first of all, we have a request from Dr. Samanthan. Holidays and Congress to present a brief lecture.
तो बोर्ड ऑन हो नहीं
हाँ हाँ जैसे
क्या